Before you watch this episode of our City Current radio show, I want to invite you to join City Current's e-learning and online personal development platform called Growth Current. I'm Jeremy Park, host of the City Current radio show and CEO of City Current. Growth Current is your exclusive ticket to attend virtual events with global thought leaders, national guest speakers, and experts who can help you grow personally and professionally. It gives you access to success secrets, lessons learned, learning modules, and so much more. Being online, you can join us from anywhere in the world. Subscriptions are only $8 a month, or you can do bulk subscriptions for your team. Check out growthcurrent.com to learn more and to join us in our efforts to power the good. And now, on to the show. Welcome to the City Current Radio Show. I'm your host, Jeremy Park. We're always honored to bring you inspiring stories of individuals and organizations making a difference, powering the good in our community. And with that, we're honored to kick it off with Women Ablaze Ministries. Here with us, we have Linda Lee White. She is the founder and executive director of Women Ablaze Ministries. How are you doing, Linda?
I'm doing great. Thank you.
So let's start out, you being the founder, this is a personal mission and storyline with you. So give us a little bit of history for Women Ablaze Ministries.
I was leading a prison ministry with my church, and it started in 1998. And I was going into Mark Luttrell, that was women then. And I started to see the need for housing for women coming out of prison. I understood that, if they left and they didn't have a good place to live, then how would they even get a job, transition back successfully into the community? So I had a group of women that were volunteers with me, and we started talking about it. And in 2000, we chartered Women Ablaze Ministries so that we could purchase a home. And so we purchased a home, and the story to that was really cool because I was a single parent, had no money, struggling myself, but I knew that God had a plan. I knew that I was supposed to help women. I didn't know what that would look like, but lo and behold, there I was in the midst of it. And so shared the vision with the ladies, the volunteers, and then we started looking for a house. And I heard a message where it says, just share the vision. So we never asked anybody for any money. We just shared the vision. And within 2 months, we chartered in September, started sharing it in October. By December, God had put $7,000 into our hands. So in January, we were able to purchase a house. Now, we couldn't do it in Women Ablaze because we didn't have the money. Not the money, the credit. So what happened was a couple put it in their name. It was in their name. We paid the bill. But then 2 years later, we refinanced it and were able to put it in Women Ablaze Ministries' name.
Nice.
So, yeah.
There's a lot of good stories of just really persistence and faith and, being able to be creative, to be able to make it happen. But hey, that's the power of starting a nonprofit with the heart of making a difference. Share a little bit of, when you talk about women coming out of prison, as you alluded to, they have to have stability. And when you talk about having a support network and structure to be able to then, it's not as simple as, okay, they come out and all of a sudden they integrate right back into society. There's a lot to that. So unpack that a little bit for listeners and viewers in terms of just women coming out and what you're seeing from your vantage point of the difficulties they face and the structure and support they really need to be successful.
Well, that is a loaded question because when I first started, I was the church lady that wanted to help. So we started it, and I don't think there's a book written about it because we learned about it as we went. Started out one way, realizing that, I talked to some other people that were doing similar things. There wasn't a lot for women. And, they said, well, let them get a job, then they can start paying fees. And then that's how, you can keep on going. Well, that didn't work. because number one, a lot of them couldn't get a job because of their charges. So lo and behold, we decided that we were going to not charge anything, and we were going to get them stable mind, soul, body, spiritually, because they had a lot of baggage. Some of the stories you just wouldn't believe. I'm not justifying anything anybody's done, but a lot of it was just escaping from pain. They used drugs, most of them, not everybody, but 99% of them. And that's what actually led them into a life of crime. And so they were escaping the pain in their life as little girls. And so what we have to do is of course, ours is Christ-centered. So we use the scripture. We have teach them how to change their thinking and really minister to them so that they can be healed and then be established. I call it detoxing from prison, because there's a way you have to live inside the prison, but you can't bring that outside. You got to learn to live differently. And that change has to happen within the heart and within the mind.
How has this work changed you? Because I've got to believe when you talk about already some of the lessons that you've learned in terms of really for yourself kind of going about it in one direction and realizing, no, that's not going to work, but yet having the heart to try to make a difference still, how has this changed you personally?
It's changed me a lot. Has given me, I guess one of the things that you have to battle sometimes is cynicism. Because, you put all of you into it, and then they don't appreciate, they don't change. And so I had to learn that, hey, I plant, somebody waters, but it's God who gives the increase. So I love them, and I have a team. We love them. We show them that they're special, that we don't look at them like you're a criminal, and we've had all levels of criminal behavior in the house. There are some things that we don't allow because we're just not equipped. Most of the women have mental health issues too, and we're not a mental health facility. We're what you call recovery support. So they have to already be off the drugs. So that's why we've really taken from prison, although, they can get it inside. But so it's helped me kind of step back a little bit. Don't take things personally, because in the beginning I did. And that I just need to love them. That's all I'm called to do, and to treat them with respect and to help them. And that's how it helped me.
Yeah. What would you say is an important lesson that you have learned that you would share with others in terms of this work? And like you said, no book has been written about this, but what would you offer for those who do want to help? And I think the respect and that is one piece of this, is treating people with respect and realizing that change takes time. You're not going to see it overnight. There's going to be a lot of a roller coaster ride emotionally. Yeah. And to your point, you have to kind of remove the personal side to the professional side of what you're trying to accomplish. So I think those are some important lessons right there. But what's something else that you've learned kind of on the business side that you would kind of throw out there as bits of advice?
Okay, well, number one, it's not something to make money. I have had a lot of people come to me, I want to do what you do. And I'm open to talking to them. And I had a couple come to me once and said, well, we're going to be going into retirement. And we thought this would be a good thing where we could provide housing for women coming out of prison, and that would help us with our retirement. And I said, well, that's not the right motive. Not that they weren't good people, but you're not going to make money out of this. This is not a money-making project. This is nonprofit. And so your heart has to be the willingness to serve, the willingness to not judge, okay, and just have the heart of Jesus in the whole matter, because you cannot go into this thinking that first of all, you're going to change them, because you're not going to change them. You're going to provide the tools, and it's really if they have a made up mind to change. I can't make anybody change. And that's something also I learned, even though I provide them with everything, it's really, bottom line is their decision. And I think one of the biggest things that I've learned too is that, when somebody comes out of prison, they're in a rush to get everything back, to pick up where they left off. Well, that's not the case. You have to be willing to say, I'm not going to pick up. You don't want to pick up where you left off. You want to come out and you want to do it totally different, because like I told them, you've never been this way before. So you're going to come out, you're going to have that mindset. And I think the downtime, we have a young lady right now who came out, she was incarcerated for 10 years. Okay, so she's coming out to whole new everything. It's overwhelming.
Yeah,
if she was just
pandemic.
Yeah. If she was just put out there without any help, the panic would set in, she would start going back to what she was familiar, she'd be in trouble again. And she sees that. I mean, she's really has a made up mind. We've had a lot of successes, and then we have some that haven't been successful. But that's another thing I learned too. What is success?
Yeah.
Because I have an idea of what success is, but they have an idea of what success is. And I had to learn, just because they didn't obtain everything I knew that they could obtain, doesn't mean to them they're not successful. Because they may have quit using drugs, that's huge in itself.
Yep.
But so that was another thing I learned. I have expectations, but I can't put those expectations on them as far as where they're going to rise to. That's
everything
really
you're talking about to me is not applicable just to the work you do, but it's also like life advice, parenting advice. I mean, there's so much.
Oh yeah, yes.
It goes parallel. Talk about how we can help. How can the community help your efforts?
Well, one way is to pray for us. Another way, and that's a biggie. Another way would be to just allow us to share like I'm sharing now. I think education, knowledge, knowing, because, I have people look at me, and not everybody's called to go into prison ministry and doing what I'm doing, but, because they think, oh, criminals. But, the first time I ever walked into a prison it was earlier than 1998, I didn't know what to expect. And then I saw, well, they're no different than I am. They don't look anything different than me. And so the public needs to be educated that these are people that they're in a controlled environment. We have a lot of rules. They increase all the time. And, but that these women need a chance. If you want, we have a mentoring program. If they want to get involved, mentoring. And we actually have male mentors that go into the prisons with men and had some very good successes with that. But also, if they would want to mentor someone, and they can contact me if they want to find out more about that. Of course, donations, monetary and in kind. We need toilet paper. We need deodorant, laundry detergent, sheets for the bed, things like that. And again, like I said, to let us come in and talk about this. And a lot of times I like to bring one of the ladies with me because, that really speaks more than I can talk, about it. The first woman that we ever got in 2001 came from Shelby County Corrections. She's still with me. She is our monitor.
Nice.
She had no family, nothing, and God made a way for her and made a place for her. And of course, we didn't realize that was what it was going to be, but she has an awesome testimony.
What does the mentoring program entail in terms of time commitment and just involvement?
Well, we have a mentor coordinator, Sonia Taylor, and she actually trains them. We have to get them certified to go inside the prison, and that's the prisons. Well, of course, they're not doing that now, but when that starts up again, they can mentor the women in the home too. And of course, it's female and female. And of course, as far as the men are concerned, those are the men. We do train them, get them certified to go in, and we work with the counselors and such inside the prison, and they screen the men and women that we're going to mentor. And so its commitment time is twice a month at least, face to face. Of course, they can connect not from the prison, but on the outside if they want to mentor somebody in the home, telephone call, and then and it's for a year. Now, if it's a year on the outside because they're at the home, or it's 6 months, the ideal situation is 6 months inside, 6 months out, so that there's a continual flow. And like with the men, our male mentors have helped, especially one of our male mentors, he's helped get his men jobs, get them to get their IDs. We do help a little bit with that. We give them a card to the Kroger, for food, and we'll pay for the IDs. And if they're staying in a transitional home, we'll pay their first month's rent or fees, whatever you want to call them. So that's basically it.
Yeah. Well, go ahead and wrap up with your website, contact information. Where do we go to get involved?
Okay. It's womenablazeministries.org. My email's womenablaze@bellsouth.net. The phone number, you can leave a message, is 901-372-2783.
Well, Linda, thank you for all you do. You and your team greatly appreciate it. Thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you.